In this video, I'm going to be giving you your feedback on the source discussion from week 7. This was about the two accounts of the Huns from Ammianus Marcellinus and Priscus. The first question was, how does the account of Priscus challenge that of Ammianus Marcellinus? Well, Ammianus presents the Huns as the stereotypical wild savage. He claims that they ride around on horseback all the time, they don't settle down, they have very simple clothes made from things like mouse skins, they don't have fixed dwellings, they eat raw meat, don't have any kind of eating utensils. Presents them almost as wild people living in a state of nature. Whereas Priscus describes Attila, the Hunnish king, in a palace, putting on a fine banquet for his guests, using utensils made of silver, which is completely different from the image given by Ammianus Marcellinus. So the second question followed on from that. I asked you, how might we account for these differences and which writer is better placed to describe the Huns? Well, the most obvious reason for the differences is that Priscus actually meets the Huns. Ammianus is writing from a distance. He's falling back on stereotypes. There's a whole tradition within Roman history writing of accounts of non-Roman peoples, which sometimes are admiring, sometimes less so. So the Huns are the stereotypical barbarians, whereas Priscus has actually met them. He's seen Attila up close, he's seen the Huns up close. And furthermore, whereas Ammianus is an historian, Priscus is an ambassador. He has no interest in presenting a false or stereotyped view of the Huns for the emperor. The emperor wants a reliable account. He wants to know, who is this Attila? How does he function? How can we deal with him? What are his people like? He does not need the stereotypes. He wants to be able to work out what the Huns are like. Another possibility is that a time difference may account for these differences. Priscus is writing about 100 years later than Ammianus Marcellinus, so maybe by Priscus's day, the Huns have been more exposed to Roman culture. They are more civilized, as it were, in the eyes of the Romans. For example, we know that Attila had a Roman secretary working for him at this time. The final question was, what image does Attila wish to present at the banquet? Well, he wants to appear very civilized, very urbane, and a good host, somebody trying to impress visitors such as Priscus. He also wishes to appear humble, so whereas his guests drink out of silver cups, Attila uses a plain wooden cup. We often see this in accounts of rulers. They don't wish to appear too arrogant. They wish to appear in touch with the people and not too keen to be above them. A second possibility for this behavior might be the nature of Hun society. It was not a structured empire like the Romans. It was more like a loose confederation of tribes. Attila is king because he's the strongest warrior, not because he's inherited the role. He needs to keep the tribal leaders on side, and maybe for that reason he does not wish to appear to be too arrogant. He wants to maintain their support.